What's up, boys and girls? Old Uncle Two back with you once again. So, real quick, before I get into the video today, I just want to say it's officially been a whole month since we've had our doors open at TFT, and I can't be thankful enough for all the founders, legends, members, and of course, the TFT team. It's been an incredibly successful first month. We're just, for the members, for the educational content, for the educational trading setups that we've been nailing time after time. It's just an amazing experience so far, and I couldn't be happier that we took this venture and went in together with the team, Mecca, Hove, Erie, Monty, all the boys. It's just an incredible opportunity and experience so far, and I just wanted to thank everybody, and a big shout out to James M. You're a fucking legend, dude. You know why. All right, so let's just go ahead and get into this real quick. Let me, this music is just, hold on. All right, much better. That was blasting my ears out. So this is the macro perspective that you guys have seen plenty of times over. I'm not going to dwell too much on this, and in fact, we're going to go ahead and get down here. We're going to look at that Sensei Hove trade that he showed you. It's set up quite nicely and well on its way now. And in fact, everything has been so copacetic as far as what we've expected to see for the last several weeks. I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the silver chart today. So we're not just going to look at gold, we're going to look at silver, but not going to linger here on this larger degree perspective. Let's go ahead and look at the trade that Sensei Hove set up for you guys. And that was that off this low, whereas I, in my last gold video, showed that this would be a potentially finishing up wave 3 here, Sensei Hove had this as a finishing impulsive wave. And it turns out that he was right. Our subwave structure would differ a little bit in the way that he showed it to you. However, that doesn't matter because he correctly identified that it was complete. Now that we've had a retracement to the level, all the way half back of the 50% of this algo target, or algo entry, I should say rather. Now we're almost at the profit take level, which happens to coincide with this important level on the chart for me. As you saw when we were zoomed out, it was actually not just important due to the VPVR, which was at the outside edge, the upper edge of a high volume area. So this is going to be low volume up here in as far as trading volume goes. It was also very important in support and resistance levels on the left of the chart as well. So that's how I generally mark these important levels, and it just so happens to coincide with this algo profit take. So I would be cautious at this level, and I do expect that we should get some retracement at that point, but I wouldn't expect, if it's, let's say, an ideal bull scenario where we're just ripping and dipping, that it will reject too harshly. Doesn't mean that doesn't mean that we could not reject and still be quite bullish. So let's talk about that. The move off the low, as we see here, is impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. So while that is shaping up to be about 3 finished waves to here, we know from the shape of this that this was actually a 1-2 sideways, 1-2 sideways, which means that there's a lot of power and strength in this upward trend of this movement, as we saw when we broke out of this base channel of the first impulse on wave 3 of proposed wave 3, meaning that this would be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. Okay, oops. TradingView's done that to us recently, where it just leaves the tool on the chart when you're done with it. On the cursor, I should say. Okay, so this has been so far perfect impulse personality. We broke out on wave 3 of broke out of the base channel for the wave 1 on wave 3 of 3. Now at this level, we expect to retrace for 4 of 3 and then finish 3 somewhere up here. And then at that point, this resistance should turn into support. And we've already, as you saw, we'll just go out real quick out here on this level. We've already gotten through the POC. So this is already all becoming support. However, once we get completely out of that range, it's much better support and very bullish for the future of gold. Okay, get back in on the hourly. So as far as we can consider things now, this would then either be at that point a finished zigzag, which would say, we'll put that roughly, the 1-to-1 level would be your expectation. So we'll say that maybe the 3 to break through is a little, This is just regular zigzag level. So if we see 5 waves finish at the area of equal magnitude to this wave, we'll be concerned that it's a zigzag, because it would most often be that. However, it could easily be a 1-2-1-2, and in this market environment, that's what we would probably need to continue the bull at the micro perspective that we've shown. So just be wary of this. Know that the algo target for the trade entry that Sensei Hove set up for you is almost met. However, I feel that if you want to let it run, you have a lot more room for the safe trade. It was still a fairly safe trade. The safest target will be here, and then the second safest target will be here. And then, of course, if you want to play the macro perspective because you've got bags loaded, we're going to go take out all-time highs in relatively short order, considering. Okay, so let's just go ahead and look over at silver quickly, which gives me, let's say, bullish thoughts about gold as well. These two charts are generally pretty congruent. However, they sometimes will run apart from one another. But as we see, this is the 3-day chart for silver. This is a chart that I've been updating for Twitter for quite some time at Sensei Tutum. And we had projected a pivot in this area, and we've gotten it. Now, once we got that pivot, we said that this would be quite the level of resistance, and it turned out to be on the 3-day chart. We consolidated. However, now we have broken above it with conviction, so that has now turned into support. So I would imagine that, as I said, when we pivoted here, that we would challenge this at level. Now that we have broken this level, after, not that it will be a straight line, we should consolidate and could use these support levels as entry points, but we should at least test the upper side of this channel. And in fact, I believe we would test much higher. So that is the perspective that is a look from gold. Now, of course, since we're on this chart, say for Sensei Tutum, we can go ahead and look here. We have the 10-year yields, which should be generally inversely correlated to gold and silver, looking like an impulsive move from the high as we've projected for some time. And then these are all very important things to gold. The dollar index, of course, go out to the 4-day, has appeared to top at a large degree as well. So it's a very, very bullish environment for the metals. All right, boys, toot out.